I apologize for the bad lighting, but this video isn't about me. It's about dolls that I wish slash plan to keep an eye out for in 2026. This is my 2026 doll wish list part 2. If you haven't seen my part 1, you can go check it out. But basically, in the past few years, I do like wish lists of dolls that I'd like to keep an eye out for, and like the first year that I did it decently well. Like, I got quite a few off. I also think I was being kind of generous with some of them, but this time, and then last year I did it and I got $1 off of that. So sometimes I'm successful, sometimes I'm not. This year I decided to broaden it and put so many dolls on the list. So this time I decided to go through all of my dolls that I have on my wish list and take every single doll line and take $1 from each doll line. Some of them are more broad because I'm like, I would just be happy to get any of them, but this time I think I have like 400 and something, no, 300 and something. I think I have less than 400 dolls, and this isn't meaning this is every single doll line that ever exists. This is just all the ones that are currently on my wish list. So obviously, as I slowly add to them, because I'm still adding to my wish list, more dolls will pop up, but I probably won't put them on my wish list. I'm going to keep it at what it is because there's so many already. I have already, I think, accumulated 2 of the dolls that are on my wish list. One is not in my hands yet, but again, I like to use a wish list as like a manifest list and hope that if I keep them in my thoughts that they'll come to me. And because some of them are dolls that like I feel like I'll never accumulate, that's, you know, we're just trying to broaden our knowledge. Anyways, this doesn't mean that I will only be purchasing dolls on this list. This just means that these are dolls that I would like to keep an eye out for and I would love to one day have in my hands. Some of these I feel like are super unattainable, but that's why I'm putting them on here, like wish list. It's manifesting, hoping that the universe will set them in my lap. Again, last year I was unsuccessful and I got $1 off of it, so keep that in mind. These are not dolls that I will guarantee be getting in 2026. The likely chance of me getting even a quarter of them is probably unlikely. I mean, there's almost 400 dolls on here. Obviously, that doesn't mean that I probably won't get any. I'm really hoping that I get some. But like I said, I'm pretty sure I've already gotten 2, which is crazy. One is the Teen Trends oh my gosh, what's her name? I want to say it's Kiana, but I don't think that's her name. She's not like really in her outfit, so she's in like, I think the playset outfit, and then I'm not gonna say the other one because she's not in my hands yet, so like it could be like, you know, the universe pulls it away from me the second I say it. But anyways, I've already done 1 through 100, so we're starting at 200, and I left enough space so that y'all can see. And last video was super long, so I do plan to talk less in it. I know, lots of talking already, but let's begin. We have Carpentina, I think that's how you say the brand name, and then it's Rowena, is that her name? And these are like 18-inch dolls, usually more medieval-esque looking. This one was just the one that I really liked. Next we have French kitties. There's very few in the line. I am not super big on like porcelain-esque dolls. I think these are porcelain. I feel like they're not plastic. Anyways, like big fear of breaking, but I think these ones are interesting. I don't know how much I'd go out of my way to get them, but if I could find them for a decent price, I wouldn't be mad. And I chose the pink dress. There's 2 pink dresses, so it's like the one with polka dots. Next we have Girls Gotta Dance, and I couldn't figure out their names, so it's just the yellow and pink outfit. These are also dolls that I wouldn't go heavily out of my way for. They're like remote control, I think. But if I could find them for a decent price, like thrifting, I would 100% pick them up. I think they're really cool. There's a few other dolls in line, but that one really liked that one. Catalina. And then I said maroon top. I feel like these are, I was gonna say like knockoffs, but I think they're actually made by Jack's Pacific, I think. I'm second guessing myself now. Maybe not, but I was gonna say like it's hard to tell if they have names. But maybe that is her name. Is her name just Catalina? Anyways, don't see a lot of people talk about them, which makes me think there might be more on like a knockoff side. yeah, no, I think they're interesting and fun, and I like that. And I didn't know her name, so I just wrote maroon top, and I know who I'm talking about. She's on my wish list already, but we'll put up a photo of her. I don't think it's actually too difficult to find her, which is crazy, just by basically putting what their doll is wearing. Then we have Candy Girls. There's so many times that I'm gonna write this in here, and I cannot tell if they're from the same line or if they're like different branches of it, so you can tell me. I feel like this is, I don't remember which one this one's talking about, but I think Integrity Toys makes, it's Integrity Toys or a different company makes them, and then I feel like there's Candy, and then there's something else, and I think they all might roughly be the same doll. It might just be different lines that I'm looking at, but one of them looks to be maybe like she's a little bit older, and then maybe they redid the line, I don't know. So we'll put in, and I think I just wrote any. I feel like there's just so many. I feel like this one that I'm talking about might be the knockoff one. Or it looks knockoff-esque. I think actually the Candy Girls, they did one where she's blonde in the swimsuit, right? The iconic Barbie look. Next is Fashion Insider Jade. Also really like this line. Also, I think Integrity Toys. I love when they did Playline dolls, and I feel like they just don't do that ever anymore. I'm pretty sure it's Integrity Toys. I could be wrong. Beautiful dolls. There's so many good ones. I think she's just the most iconic. Like anytime I look it up, I think she's the one that pops up the most, which is why I really want her. I have not looked at her price. Build Lily, I wrote any. I would take any one of her. She's obviously very iconic. She's the first doll. She's what Barbie is inspired by. She's amazing. I would take any. I feel like they go for insane prices. Also, like, they're not found in the US. They're from Germany, right? So another factor why she could be so expensive. Would take any. Would willingly take any. BU Crew, I wrote Brianna. That's a new doll line that is coming out or is out already. I think there's 2 dolls in it. She's just one that I like the most. Evergirl, and then black hair. There's a few dolls in the line, but they all wear the same outfit. I think the concept is either they sell fashion packs or you go online and make outfits. I don't know. I haven't looked too much into them, especially because that's not something that you can do anymore. And I feel like they can be a little bit more on the expensive side. But that's the one that I really liked. I like the basic outfit that they all wear, but I feel like if I were to get more than one doll, because again, there is different, like, not characters, I don't know if they have names, but there's different dolls with different hair colors. I feel that I would have to change their outfits. Like, I feel like they can't all be wearing the same outfit, even though I do like the OG outfit that they're wearing. Then we have Agathita. Is that how you say her name? I don't know. The one that I put in is the one that I want. If I were to find the other dolls, I probably would pick them up. I don't think that I would leave them behind. I feel like they're just iconic enough to recognize them. But this is the one that I think that I would go out of my way for. And if I couldn't find any more to add into my collection for a decent price, then I would probably not buy anymore. But this is the one that I liked her outfit the best. The other ones, I just am not the biggest fans of their outfits. Again, if I found them for like really cheap, like under $5, I would probably pick them up. But I don't know if I'd go out of my way to get the other ones. This one specifically though, I really like her outfit. I like how she looks. Next we have Big Beautiful Dolls, and then I wrote black dress. This is from I watched a doll iceberg talking about lots of dolls, which very just fascinating and interesting to me. And there's 3 dolls I think in the line. I'm not sure if they're, I feel like they've got to be collector. I don't know who makes them, but I just really like them. I think they're interesting and fun and just a different concept that we haven't seen too often. And I would like to have all 3 of them, but I will take one for starting up. I don't think I've ever seen them in anybody's collection though, so I don't really know much about them. Aphmau, I hope that's how you say it. And then I wrote the wolf. I've been really wanting the red doll. I have gotten 2 of the purple girly, 2 different outfits I should say, but I really want the red girl. I don't actually know her name, but she's a wolf, right? Want her. She's evading me. I will find her one day. Next, we have Ruby Red Country Cuties, and this one I think is also a pretty expensive doll line to exist. And I wrote any. I said I will take any of them, especially when it comes to more expensive dolls or dolls that there's just so many of them. I will take any of them. Addison Rae, I wrote the advent calendar. She comes with multiple different outfits in there, which is one reason that I really would like it. I just thought some of the outfits in it are really cute, and you can mix and match to make even cuter outfits. I really like the Addison Rae doll. I think I have 2 now, which is exciting, and I would like to complete the line, especially because there aren't many in it, so I don't think it will be too hard to complete. I was really hoping that I would get more and just build the collection quickly, but it did not happen that way. But I really want the advent calendar. I was actually going to get it last year because I feel like it was on really good sale at some point, and I just didn't, and I regret that. So yes, I would like to get the Addison Rae doll. Hopefully this is one that I can actually get this year. Next we have Fairy Tale High Rapunzel, sorry. She's the only one in the line that I don't have. If you haven't seen, I have the Fairy Tale High dolls. You should watch my unboxings. I've unboxed all of them, but 2 of the ones that I have so far. And Rapunzel is just the last one in the lineup that I need, and I didn't get her. And I would really like her, and I have put it on my list ever since getting the OG, or the last time that I bought all of them, and she is still evading me. She's just so expensive. It's so annoying. She's not actually that expensive. She's just like, I would like her to be a decent price, you know? Billie Eilish, green. Billie Eilish has a doll, and I think there's 2. I don't think there's more than 2. I think there's like figures, but there's 2 dolls, and I want the green doll because I feel like that's the most iconic. Next, Asha. I wrote any. There's, I don't actually know who makes this line, but I think the photo that I put in is one in like a really pretty dress, but I would take any of them, more culturally accurate too. But I just really liked that dress. I was like, wow. When I was looking at photos, I was like, I don't actually know much about this doll though, who makes it. And I don't want to try to guess. Candy Integrity Toys, and I wrote any. See, I did. It is made by Integrity Toys. See, I put in twice, I think, but I think those are 2 different lines that I'm talking about. It actually may be in a third time if I'm not making that up. Yeah, don't know much about Integrity, like different Integrity Toys lines, especially ones that are a collector. I just really avoid knowing too much about them because I know that I'll really want them. I will take any of them. If one pops up on eBay, Mercari, Facebook Market page, secondhand place, if they pop up for a good price, I will take any of them. Universe. Thank you. Cherry Mary Muffin, Betty Berry. I actually think that I have one of these dolls. I thrifted one of them at it's called Toys R Used. I couldn't think of like what it would be called, but it's like a toy store, and I thrifted one, and I didn't actually know what she was, and I was like, I recognize this line, and I'm pretty sure that is who it is, and I would like to have another one for my collection, except I feel like she's taller than what I think that they are. So yeah, I'd like another one, and this one was the one that I thought was the cutest. There's actually quite a few really cute ones, but I just really liked this one, and I think that they would look so good together, so thank you, universe. Dawn, I wrote any. These are another doll line that I would like to not go too much out of my way to get into my collection or have to pay an insane price. That's why I wrote any, specifically because Dawn's on the smaller side, and as much as I like smaller dolls, I don't want to pay like insane prices. And when I was looking at prices for some of the smaller size dolls that look like Dawn, and Dawn including, I feel like they were just kind of expensive, and I was like, I don't want that. So universe, I will take any for a decent price. I'm not picky here, but I would like to add Dawn or Fashion Teeners, we're going to talk about some others, into my collection. I would like to add them into my collection, but not for insane prices. Betty Spaghetti, early 2000s. I don't have any Betty Spaghetti, but I had 2. I don't have any in my collection now, but when I was a kid, one of my family members, I don't know what she would be to me, always second guess it. Anyways, she loved dolls, and she gave us, me and second cousin, don't actually know, 2 Betty Spaghettis. And I remember I had the shoe for the longest time. Doesn't fit on any doll because, you know, it's just like a random hole in the shoe. But I had it, and that's the only thing that I remember. And so when I was looking at Betty Spaghetti's from the 2000s, I saw the shoe. And I don't remember having the doll. I just remember the shoe. So I don't know if she came in other if that shoe came in other outfits or like a fashion pack or something. I don't know. I didn't do too much, but I would like the 2000s one. Betty Spaghetti is a doll that when I first started collecting, I was like, I don't know how like interested I am, but I would love to have them in my collection. I just don't know if I really want to go too far out of my way to get them. I haven't looked at prices for them or anything, but if I found them for a decent price, I think what would really bother me is I would like to have like most of their parts, or all of it, and I think that's where I'm kind of being picky. So yeah, I wrote early 2000s Betty Spaghetti specifically to get that shoe and that doll that matches the shoe. Just, you know, bring dolls back from my childhood. Next we have Sissy. I hope that's how you spell it. And I wrote Any. Sissy is a fun doll because I'm very like interested in doll like knowledge and stuff. And I read a while ago when like there's like always controversy of Barbie and stuff, and like Build Lily, and somebody talking about technically Sissy would be like the first ever fashion doll taking over like what Barbie has, because technically she wasn't supposed to be a baby doll, even though she does look on the more baby doll aspect. You could dress her that kind of vibe, and I think that's interesting knowledge to have, and obviously there's more going into it if you're interested in that, but I would take any of them. I did look up prices of them. I don't think we're adding her into my collection this year unless I find her at like a thrift store that doesn't know what they have, but it's okay. Same for like Build Lily. Don't expect me to get her in 2026. I would love to, but we're not being very optimistic here. Next we have Jean Marshall. I also wrote Any. I would take Any. I recently saw somebody at a show, like watching like a YouTube video, and there are Jean Marshall dolls there, and I was like, stop. Just show me the prices just for like a minute, please. Would take Any. Dusty, another I feel like iconic doll. I almost said I would take Any. I would, but I did write a specific one. I wrote the OG, the original one, the iconic one. When you look up Dusty, this is the one that popped up. Love those dolls. Would like to get my hand on Any, but like I tried to put actual doll specifics for this video so that the universe could be like, oh, plop. Anyways, next we have Fashion Teeners, another one that I talked about. I didn't write teeners, I wrote teens, but I think it is teeners. Anyways, and then I wrote green and then red hair. They come in like the plastic rubbery outfits, I think, and then I think they do come with like extra fashions. These are interesting ones. I think there's only 4 made, which would not be a difficult collection to complete. They weren't expensive. I feel like they were a lot of money, like more than I'd like to pay for like a Polly Pocket size doll. And maybe it's because I have like Polly Pockets in my head, and I just recently saw some thrifting and I was like, oh, these aren't too expensive, and then seeing these and I was like, ooh. I know that they're like old, but like stop. Okay, next we have Dazzle, and I did write a specific character as well. I wrote Crystal. I think she's in like the purple dress, but now I'm questioning it. Obviously you'll see, but gorgeous doll. There's quite a few. I think Dazzle's made by Mattel, and I think Fashion Teeners is made by Mattel, but I could be wrong. Next we have not gotten very far, I do apologize. Loxies. I wrote Ricky. Just saw somebody talk about them. Love that. I think they deserve more conversations about. I did a video, if you want to see, talking about knowledge, facts about Loxies. Anyways, we have Lollipop Girl. Nope. Loopsy Girls, Cloudy Sky, and Stormy Sky. It's the 2-pack. I was like, this is my chance. I can put 2 packs in here and they count as one. I would like either of those dolls if the universe is like, you can't have both. I would like either of them. I just think they're the best in line, but I would like both. If I could have them, I would like to be thrifting and find the doll in box for a decent price and be like, oh my god, I'll take them out of box too, universe. Next we have Lollipop Girls, Lulu. Gorgeous doll. The next one is also a Lollipop Girl. It's the bigger size doll, and I couldn't figure out who it was specifically, so I wrote Winter Look, but I'm gonna put the photo in. This is off of my list, off of my wish list. Also couldn't find a standalone. This is in somebody's collection. No clue if she even exists or if maybe she was like a prototype that somebody made. I don't know. If somebody wants to tell me. It's really hard to find the bigger size dolls. I think they're porcelain. but maybe not. I haven't looked too much into them, but I feel like it's kind of hard to find them. There's only a few that I can like find on even like eBay or Mercari, but I have a photo of somebody's actual like in their collection, and that's the photo that's on my wish list. And some of the dolls in there, I cannot find photos standalone, just like in the person's collection. So that is the photo that I'm using. So thank you to the person who took a photo of their collection and put it on the internet. Anyways, beautiful doll. Would love to find her. Probably unlikely, especially knowing how much they can go for. It's okay. Next, we have Live Wonderland line. I did put the whole line. I will take anybody from it. If you don't know, I love fairy tale dolls, and obviously these are fairy tale-esque, right? It's Wonderland. So I just think like looking at them, there were so many lines that Liv has done that I was like fascinated with, and I was like, yes. But this was just one of the ones that I was looking at. I was like, these are just so pretty. I would love to have the whole line, but if we're, you know, just the universe wants to plop one in, that is okay. I will slowly gather the line. Next, we have Magic Mixie Pixlings Amber. Also a line that I have slowly been growing over time. I think the capsule thing, I've never done that. I have managed to thrift some though, and I would hope to be able to thrift more. The thing is with like the big container that they come in, what am I gonna do with it? So I'd really like to thrift them, but if I find them for a decent price in the container, that is okay. Next, we have Juku Couture Haley Redhead. Listen, I'm pretty sure Haley's blonde because but when I looked up the specific doll that I was looking at, it also said she was Haley, but she was wearing Haley's outfit, but she was a redhead. So we're gonna put in that photo that I'm looking at. It could just be somebody redressed the doll in Haley's outfit, but maybe it is the same doll. I don't know. I don't know. But that's the one that I've seen, and I've seen her inbox, and I was like, okay. So that's the doll that I'm looking for. If that's not her name, you can obviously correct me, or if you want to tell me Juku Couture facts, you can. Next we have Kuku Harajuku G, I think that's her name, First Wave. She also is giving Wonderland vibes. I assume that's what she's supposed to be referencing. So I put her in here. They will continue to evade me. I was hoping that like they'd be easy to find, but I feel like I've never seen them thrifting, but maybe it's because, I mean, they're kind of from like the 2010s, right? Next we have Catwalk Kitty. Oh, I don't know how to say her name. Sienna, is that her name? Sienna. And then I wrote jeans. Again, sometimes there's just so many dolls and I don't know what wave they're in, so I'm just like, jeans. We'll put up a photo of her. Beautiful dolls. I feel like Catwalk Kitty is not really talked about a lot, but I feel like also it's really hard to find them in their outfits or with their bodies. Next, Lisa Frank Fab Friends. Also don't see too many people talk about these dolls, but also they're kind of expensive. Ever since I figured out what they were and like I've wanted them, I've been like, their prices can be crazy. Did I tell you who I put? I put Mara. I think she's the purple haired one. She's just gorgeous. I love their like obnoxious bright colors. I think there's 4, and one of them is wearing like a jean outfit, and I feel like out of all of them, like she feels like she doesn't really go with them, but that's okay because I still really want her. Next, Jazzy OG. I wrote OG Jazzy. I actually have her skirt piece. Beautiful doll. Would love to get my hands on that doll. Maxie, which also kind of is like Jazzy, right? Cheerleader Maxie. Also put her out. She's the cheerleader look. So many different Jazzy and Maxie dolls. Specifically Maxie, I feel like was pretty successful because like I feel like there's so many dolls for that. Mixus, brown and purple top. I'm trying to think. This is, I cannot think much about them, but I think she's wearing a dress. I don't think is it just a brown and purple top? I think it's a dress. Anyways, I think there's like 5 or 6 dolls in line, and I don't know if I've ever seen people really talk about them. I also feel like for a while I thought that they were not real. I don't know if they're like, I feel like I thought they were like a line that was just never made, but I think they do exist. Next we have Magic Attic Club, and I wrote Wave 2 Keisha, but now that I look at it, and like I was doing more when I was like pulling up her photos and stuff, I was like, I don't know if she's actually, I think that's her name, by the way. I think that's how you say it. I'm not so sure that she's actually the one that I put the photo up is actually Wave 2. I think there's more than 2 waves, if I'm not mistaken. So whatever one this one is that I put up, that's the one that I want. I don't think she's actually from Wave 2. She might be like Wave 3 or something, but I think there's more than one wave, and I know she wasn't the first one, which is why I'm like, I don't know. I don't think she's Wave 2 though. Next we have Kaya. Is that you say her name? And then I wrote Pink and Gold. Also just another line that I feel like I don't see a lot of people talk about, and I didn't think that maybe they are all named Kaya. I don't think that's how you say her name though. So apologies, but I wrote Pink and Gold dress. She's beautiful, by the way. These dolls, beautiful. Little Big Eyes blonde heart top. This one, originally I had a different one that I wanted to put into my wish list, but I couldn't find photos of her, which makes me think maybe the one that I really like is a custom. So I chose this one. There's two that I really liked. I couldn't find, one of them was not white, and I really liked that one, but I couldn't find any dolls that weren't like paper white, which makes me think maybe that one's a custom. And then the other one, I can't think of what she looked like. I cannot think right now. But so I'm curious if the ones that I really liked were customs, but this one I could find stock images for. So, and I was like, she looks gorgeous. But I would like you to know she was, sorry to say, not my first pick. I really did try to find the other two, but I could not find them anywhere. Not even photos, and I usually pull them off of like my wish list already, but I was like, I don't know if these even exist. Maybe they are customs. Next we have, oh, I don't know how to say this, the Cruiselings. I hope that's how you say it. And they're called, the one that I chose was Luna, and I said fairy. I think they come in like human forms too, and I really liked her human form, and I think when they're in human form you can still put the wings on. But I chose to put the fairy just cause, even though I really liked the human outfit. Next we have Holly Hobby Holly. I would like all three, and this is the 2008, right? They were made in 2008. I really like all of them, but I chose her because I feel like she's just the most iconic. But I would take any of them. Next we have Hair Adorables Noah OG. I have a few Hair Adorables. Hair Amazing, is that what they're called? But she's just one that I would really like to have in my collection. Next we have Nancy Snowboarder. Another doll line that is maybe more on the baby doll aspect. If that makes sense. But this one came with a snowboard, and I feel like I don't think she was actually originally in my wish list, but she is now. Like I saw her and I was originally looking for the one that I wanted to put in my wish list, or that I wanted to put as my number one, and I saw her and I was like, nope, move her up. So yeah. But I feel like she might be more on like a baby doll aspect, so keep that in mind. But she would look great on my shelves with some of my 18-inch / smaller, because I think she's smaller than an 18-inch doll lines. Anyways, Laura, Fina, any. I think they all come in the same outfit, and then you buy extra outfits. I would take any of them. The one that I put up is just a reference to it, but I feel like they're kind of expensive, so keep that in mind. Next, we have Hearts for Hearts. Mozzie. I don't know how to say her name. I have two. I thrifted one once, and then I got one in box at like a Once Upon a Child. That's not what it's, Kid to Kid. Greatest find ever. I'll find stuff at Kid to Kid, but like that has been like my best thing. It was the first time that I went when it opened up. There was like a store that opened up near us. Best thing ever. I was like, oh my god, I want this so bad. Anyways, and I just would really like to keep adding to them. I think they're really nice. I think Nancy would look pretty good with them. Again, I don't have Nancy to see size comparison, but I feel like they'd get along. Okay. Next we have Hottie Any. I hate that there's an online that's called that. I feel like I feel like I've seen a few people talk about them, but I feel like they're kind of just expensive. I put one in my cart recently. Not that hopefully I don't accidentally push buy, because I feel like they're just insanely expensive, but I just wanted to like remember price wise. Next, Hot Looks. Oh, I don't know how to say her name. Sashi, maybe? I don't remember where you're from, because these I think are Mattel, and they have like somewhat fabric bodies, somewhat plastic bodies, vinyl maybe, but I don't remember. I think they're all from different places, and I cannot remember where she's from, but nonetheless, I added her to my wish list. Lulu Pop Bella. This was a TV show. I don't think I've ever watched. No, it's not. Wrong one. Where's the TV show? Make It Pop. It's not even close. This one is the ones that are like knockoffs of LOL, OMG, right? Are they supposed to be like K-pop dolls inspired? Maybe, I don't know. It's been a while since I've looked at them. I feel like they were like, people were like looking and going after them, especially when they added them to the US or allowed you to get them on Amazon, and now you can't, I don't think, anymore. I should definitely check again. Latinistas, Juliana, would love to get a Latinistas doll. I didn't get them when they originally came out, and I kind of regret that. I mean, I think they might still be in stores. Lottie's, Any. This is a doll line that I don't know too much about, and kind of the same vibe that I have for some other dolls. I really want them, like these. This is a doll line that I would really, really like to get. They're not released in the US. I think they might be on Amazon, but I think they're from the UK, right? I could be wrong with that. And because of that, they can kind of get more expensive than I would like to pay, rather than finding them in stores for like clearance. So I don't want to go too far out of my way to get them, but I would like to have some in my collection. They're actually really cute. So I think at some point I will be like, I need these in my collection. But as of right now, I've been waiting to get them and to look at them. So I'd like to not look at them because I know that if I look at them, I will want them, because they're quite adorable. I think I've actually found one thrifting one time and I didn't pick it up, just because it was more expensive than I'd like to pay. But anyways, Mysticats, I wrote Any. The photo that I put up is the one that I would really like to have in my collection. They're just really, really cute, and yeah. Midnight Magic, green and purple. This I think is like a knockoff inspired doll, but nonetheless, I really like knockoff dolls, and I did put quite a few on my list. You're gonna see them in this video. Miraculous, Baby Brink, Any, is that how you say it? Baby Brink. These ones are like bigger size dolls, and I don't know, they're just very fascinating to me. And like when other companies take over them, it's just interesting, and they look different compared to other ones. And I feel like Miraculous, the ones that are produced here, are pretty easy to get, so I'm hoping to be able to like slowly add them in my collection. But I put like these ones because I felt like they were just different and weird and interesting, and I like bigger size dolls, so I don't know, they just fascinate me. Melanie's Mall, Sun and Surf. Slowly would like to build a Melanie's Mall playset. Look, not that I have space for it, but like if I can just slowly add to it, that would be nice. Mystics, Kalani. I feel like this is the green one. She's gorgeous. Next we have My Avastar DJ Candy. I have a few My Avastars. I would like to continue to add to them. They're gorgeous and it's just so fascinating to me. Hashtag Lika Float Jerry Fish. I hope that's how you say it. I still don't have any of the hashtag Lika dolls, even though they're like top dolls that I would really like to get. I really want to purchase from like Japan and like get a box, but like with tariffs, that really freaks me out. So been holding it off, but I just think that I need to just do that this year. Just take a look at some of the stuff there. Little Miss Mismatch, Any. I think there's 3 or 4 in the line. I would take any of them. Mystic Girls 2-pack. This is a girl and guy pack, and again, same thing that I said for the Lalaloopsy girls. It's a 2-pack, so it counts as one. Fair enough. And I think it's the only guy that's in the line. The dolls are really fascinating to me, but I don't know, they just look so good, and I really like the girl in this, so I was like, why not? And then also take a look at boy dolls, see if they did well. I don't remember who makes it, but I feel like it might be a popular brand. I want to say it's Jax, but I don't think that it is. Make It Pop, there we go. This is from the TV show, and I wrote Quirky. I think this is the first one that I'm talking about, but you'll see the photo, obviously. Gorgeous dolls. Naturalistas, Grace. This is the one that comes in the wigs, and she comes like a whole setup, and I think she's a little bit more expensive than some of the others, but nonetheless, beautiful. Then I wrote Melville, is that how you say it? And then Purple Dress. I don't know if they have names, but that's the one that I was looking at. Lady Lovely Locks, Madden Curly Crown. I feel like this took forever for me to find this doll. Gorgeous doll. Would really like to have any of them, but this one was the one that really stood out to me. Corito, is that how you say it? Corito Kids? I don't know if that's actually how you say the brand's name. And then Gia, gorgeous doll. I wrote a few 18-inch. You can tell at some point I was like looking at different 18-inch dolls, and they made it on here because we also have my Salon doll, Bailey, gorgeous doll as well, also an 18-inch. Not that I have space for them, but slowly add them to my list. Just Girls, Trinity, also such like a fun and interesting doll line that I was looking at. Mogul, is that how you say it? There's so many doll lines that I never hear people talk about, so I'm interested if I even say their names right. And then it's McKinley, also a nice and fun doll. I actually saw them on Facebook Marketplace, and I regret not getting them because it was like all 4 of them. My Style, Any, I think, is My Style the knockoff dolls? I think it might be. If it's not, I apologize. If it's not, but that's who I'm thinking it is. There's a bunch that have like very similar names. H2O Ricky doll. These are so expensive, but I would really like all the H2O dolls. There's a few of them, and I feel like if somebody could just like message me and be like, here, I'll just pay it, okay? Just like a whole lot of them. That would be amazing, and I would probably pay a pretty penny instead of just buying one into my collection after the other. Anyways, Just Girls, Any, put up a photo, probably of the one that I was very fascinated with. I think it's the dress, like the pink dress one. Miss Scooby, I also don't know if I'm saying her name right, Miss Scooby. Orange, but I'm gonna put a photo of all 3 of them. I think there's the orange one, the pink one, and the green. They all look the same, but I really like the orange outfit. Lamley, I wrote the OG. I just think she's the most iconic. There's a few others. I think there's a guy and a, maybe like a different, right, there's a guy, and then the one with curly hair, and then the brunette. I don't think there's anyone else. There might just be 3 dolls. Maddie Maud, Any. I think this might be a knockoff doll line. I've seen like the whole like pamphlet of it. They look very gorgeous though. Mimi, another doll line that is not from the US that I would like to also get, which is another reason I was like, I should just order from Japan. This one would be a nice one to get. Madeline Macroby, is that how you say it? And there's only one, so I'll put in the photo. Just a fascinating doll. I'll find a space on my shelf for her if I can get her into my collection. Healthy Roots, Marisol, also an 18-inch doll. Moon Dreamer, Any. I don't care. I would just like one for a decent price, please. Lolly, this is like a fabric like plushie doll. There's a few. I'm not super like there's a few of these, like there's Thai girls and stuff. These aren't super fascinating to me, but when I saw this one, I was like, I put Aurora because I think that's her name, but her aesthetic, I think I put in 2 different dolls. That aesthetic, there's quite a few that they made for the line. I would take any of those. I don't know how to say this. Hi Puffy Ami, I don't think that's how you say it. But there's 2 dolls for it. I would take either of them. I think it's based off of a TV show, if I'm not mistaken. We've got Hotel Transylvania wedding doll of, Mabel, that is her name. Next we have Hopscotch Hill Gwen doll. I think she's like a soccer one. Kenya, Any. I'll put in photos of the one that I really liked. Miss 17, Any. This is also a pretty big, like, I was gonna say knockoff, but like reference to Miss Barbara. Lady Maria. I've seen a few of them. I also don't know too much about them. I feel like I never see them in collections, but that's okay. This one, I feel like people are gonna laugh at me, but the Kiki Fashion Tiki. Again, I watched an iceberg and I was like, just such an interesting doll to exist. So I was like, of course. There's only one, and I would 100% find an adorable spot for them on my shelves. Girls, this is I think a My Scene knockoff. I would take any of them. I really like dolls that are like knockoff or inspired by. They might not be made with the most nicest plastic. It may be toxic. They just fascinate me. Then I have Taylor Swift Teardrops of my guitar doll. This is in a green dress. Beautiful. Would like to get more Taylor Swift dolls. Pinky Cooper, Pepper. I feel like she's the most iconic. She's like blue and green. Love that doll. Regal Academy, Sparkle Rose. Beautiful pink dress. Don't have any of the Regal Academy dolls. Should add them in. They're fairy tale dolls, obviously. Shibajuku Yuku. Is that how you say her name? I have 1 doll now. That's a Shibajuku. The newest ones that they added. I think there's 2. I have 1. I think there's 2, right? Yeah. Would like to get more of them. I think there's actually like mini ones too. I could be making that up. Writing Spirits Ursula, is that how you say her name? I didn't know that that was her name. I think she does have like molded on pants, but that's okay because they're like smaller dolls. I would like her horse with her. If I were to get the Riding Spirit, like the little ones, I want their horses with them, and then they would stand in front of the bigger dolls that I have. Once Upon a Zombie Alice, again, another fairy tale line that I would really like to get my hands on. Alice was just, I think, the best. Style dolls, any, also from Japan, I believe, so I would take any of them. Teen Tonkers Distro, I think that's the brand, and then Chamoy. I think these are dolls from Mexico. I could be wrong. There's like smaller ones, but then there's the bigger ones that I want. I don't know much about these. I really don't know anything actually. I feel like anytime I try to look them up, I have the hardest time trying to find them, so keep that in mind. I don't know if that's actually what they're called. Off the Hook, I'd take any. I think these are also made by, oh no, I can't think of the name. Oh my gosh, what is it called? The Collector doll line, but I think these are Playline. I see sometimes people review them. That's really how I got the photos that I have in my wish list. I think they're from like people unboxing them and stuff. Beautiful dolls, would love to get my hands on them. There are Off the Hook dolls that are made by, I want to say Jax, but I don't actually think that's what it is. Spin Master maybe. And there's smaller size dolls which they have like the hook gimmick. That's what I'm talking about. These are different dolls. Then we have Only Hearts Club, Anna, green top, don't know what wave she's from, beautiful doll. And then the last one that is on the list before we move on to part 3 of dolls from 2026 is Pretty Cure, and I would take any again. If they're not from the US, they're gonna be harder to get my hands on. I would take any. I'm not being picky, universe, please just pop them in my lap. Anyways, that's the end of the video. I know it's kind of long, I apologize, but I am just slowly adding dolls to my wish list, and I would like to bring you in. These are dolls that I'm hoping to get in 2026, but you know, we're trying to be optimistic here. Anyways, let me know your thoughts. Let me know what dolls are on your wish list for 2026, what dolls you're attempting to manifest. But I'm Magda. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye!